Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever time it happens to be, wherever you're logging in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Namaste. Before I get into today's talk, please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, and donate if this content resonates with you. Toxic hustle culture is a problem. It's detrimental to the mental and physical health of many of us. I think this goes without saying, but many of us are busy, very busy, myself included. However, I'm far from the busiest in the bunch, and I do try to give myself at least a little time for rest, relaxation, and recuperation, and spending time with my partner. But even I don't get enough sleep. It's something I need to work on, to be sure. But I'm fortunate enough to only have to work one job at this time. Others aren't so lucky. Many of us have to work 2 or even 3 jobs to support ourselves and our family if we're raising one. Many of us, maybe most of us, are overworked and underpaid and undervalued and overwhelmed, frankly. And now we also have to worry about AI or robots potentially replacing some of our jobs. What's worse is that a large chunk, if not most of our incomes, is spent on rent, mortgage, a smaller chunk on bills, another smaller chunk on our vehicles, insurance and gas, and another smaller chunk on overpriced groceries, clothes, and other necessities, leaving very little left over. But we got to keep working in order to feed the beast, as it were. We're so busy, in fact, it oftentimes feels like we're hamsters on a wheel in this perpetual capitalist hustle culture rat race. Wake up. Get a fix of our culturally prescribed caffeine addiction, which I get it, maybe necessary to even survive the day, depending on how busy and underslept you are. Go for a run, go to the gym before or after work, get all prepped and ready. Take the kids to school if we have kids, commute to work if we don't have the privilege of working from home, work often long hours at a job. Many of us feel unsatisfied or unfulfilled and stressed, burned out, or bored to tears at. But hey, it's a job. A job's a job, and it pays the bills. Right? What are you going to do? Commute back home or get started on a second or third job or a side hustle if you have to do that, and do that for a few hours. Pick up the kids if you have kids. Take them to their after school activity, or maybe go to school ourselves and do homework or study for a few or several hours after work. Finally, head home for the day, take care of the kids, take care of chores and responsibilities, make dinner, sit down and eat, spend a little time with friends and family, watch a little TV or play a little games, have a little adult fun time, if we're lucky. Finally pass out for the night and do it all over again in the morning. If we're fortunate enough to have a weekend and don't have to work at another job, then too, we sleep in and try to catch up on the sleep we didn't get during the week. Then it's more chores and responsibilities, going out to pick up more price gouged groceries, maybe some volunteering or socializing or outdoor activities if we have spare time and energy left and have the privilege. And many maybe take care of our spiritual needs, maybe some more adult fun time, more chores and responsibilities and taking care of kids, dinner, dreading going back to work, heading to bed, and then doing it all over again next week. No wonder we're tired, cranky, burned out, and unhappy. And as if that wasn't already enough, we're often faced, especially if you spend any significant amount of time on YouTube in the motivational sphere, with some, not all, but some motivational speakers, hustle culture peddlers, and grind set mindset bros who either imply or explicitly yell in our faces that we're lazy, not busy enough, not doing enough, not hustling enough, or that we're making excuses or simply procrastinating. As if most of us aren't hustling our rear ends off already the majority of the time. So it ends up feeling like they're beating on a nearly dead horse. Pardon the expression. Are there some amongst us who are lazy, procrastinating, or making excuses, or who simply could be doing more or doing better if they're completely honest with themselves? Sure. For them, the words of the grindset mindset bros might cut to the quick and make them feel guilty for not doing enough, and that guilt becomes a sort of negative reinforcement to drive them to do the right thing and change their lives. But they make a small minority of this larger whole. This minority does need more motivation, direction, action, urgency in their lives. And I should know, I've been there before too, but that's in the past now and I've changed my life, so I'm more of the former rather than the latter in this example. However, for most of us, shouting these aggressive motivational speeches at us is like trying to pull water from an empty well. While it's certainly easier said than done, most of us need less work, less busyness, more purpose and fulfillment, and less hustle just for the sake of hustling, more quiet solitude, but also more quality time with friends, family, loved ones, and community. Better prioritization of our time and energy, less consumption, and more appreciation, gratitude, and being present. More balance, more relaxation, more self-care, more self-love, and more sleep. These oversimplified prescriptions are easy in theory and life-changing if actually realized. But the problems and barriers, as well as the solutions that will help realize idealized better lives, are complex, especially when many of us have full plates and strapped budgets. This certainly may be controversial and ruffle some feathers, but a big stumbling block that very often prevents the realization of these ideals is capitalism itself. Now, I'm not going to tell you to overthrow capitalism, but we do need to regulate it, especially in the United States. Our puritanical, culturally prescribed, and socially politically and economically reinforced relationship with work, money, and time as a scarce commodity, but one that must be packed to the brim full of obligations and commitments is unhealthy, toxic, and unsustainable. Our country's working class is the most overworked and underpaid in the developed world, with amongst the weakest social safety net, the most expensive healthcare system, and the most expensive higher education to boot, as well as a lack of affordable childcare. Not to mention a lack of affordable housing, but that's kind of a global problem. It's just especially bad in urban and suburban areas in the US. Most of the developed world are models of how we can and should do better by our working class so that we don't have to keep collectively drawing water from an empty well. Now, these political and socioeconomic challenges are way outside of the scope of this video, and the changes needed require massive shifts at the ballot box, at our workplaces, and in society and our cultural attitudes in general, which I won't get into in any depth here in this video. What I can tell you in this video is that you should try to do the best with what you can, with what you have to create a better work life and quiet time balance in your own life, and also encourage that in the lives of your friends, family, and community. So create a better work life and quiet time balance in your own life and the lives of those you love and those around you. If you can't afford to escape your current job, or even better, if you don't yet have a full-time job and significant amount of bills to pay, wholeheartedly pursue your dreams, pursue your passions, purpose, and what energizes you and what lights you up. The money will find you later, and it's far better than living with regret and lack of fulfillment. If you can't yet afford to escape your current job, make a plan to gradually push yourself in the right direction. Push through the pain now to enjoy the reward of chasing your dreams later. If you are happy with your current job, Merry flickin' Christmas. Kudos to you, and ignore all of what I just said. Keep doing you. Also, be gentle and loving with yourself. When you inevitably can't live up to the unrealistic and frankly toxic hustle culture standards, don't beat yourself up. Keep doing the best you can. But also give yourself time and permission for self-care, rest, and recuperation so you can sustain your best and maybe even level up. If you're not doing the best you can, be honest with yourself and raise your standards. But still be graceful and compassionate with yourself, not self-destructive. There are enough people and other forces that are trying to do that already. Help yourself. Don't give aid to self-destruction. We all need balance between hustle and giving your time, energy, and or money to friends, family, your community and others, and sleep and self-care. Balance among all these things. It's easier said than done. Sometimes it can feel like a juggling act, but we honestly do, need to strike a balance somehow between hustle and giving your time, energy, and or money to friends, family, community, and others, as well as sleep and self-care and self-love. We need time to slow down, be quiet, and be still in equal measure to time to be busy, active, and productive. And many of us, frankly, just need to hit the hay for a good while anyway. Some motivational speakers, hustle culture peddlers, and grind set mindset bros, they also very often understate the importance of sleep. While others who love to procrastinate or who are simply just lazy, tired, or unmotivated overstate the importance of sleep, whether consciously with their choices or unconsciously through no fault of their own. Now, every adult should be getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Now, unfortunately, that's not always possible, especially in our fast-paced, electrically lit hustle and grind world, especially if you have obligations outside of yourself, like taking care of your family in addition to going to work and taking care of your other responsibilities, commitments, and obligations. But you should absolutely make sleep a priority. Cut out what's simply a drain on your time and energy and doesn't serve any real productive or helpful purpose. Be consciously selective about how you spend your time and energy and with whom. Cut out the things that are keeping your mind awake at night to create a comfortable, quiet, and dark sleeping environment. And when you were not able to get enough sleep the night before, try to get a little more sleep tonight. Don't listen to some of these motivational speakers, hustle culture peddlers, and grinds and mindset bros when they tell you, when they understate the importance of sleep. Listen to yourself, listen to your body. Now, if you're getting something excessive amount of sleep, okay, that's a different situation. But get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep if you can, like I said. Now, yes, you shouldn't let sleep become yet another excuse preventing you from doing what you need to do or from doing what you feel called to do. And if you need to get up by a certain time to go to work at a job, do that. Set an alarm and do that. Yes, you shouldn't snooze the alarm if you have to wake up by a certain time for work or another commitment or obligation. In that case, do not snooze the alarm. That's a problem. I know from experience it's far easier said than done when you're barely awake and you can't help but snooze out of reflex, but try not to do that. You know, I'm begging you in that situation, do as best as you can to resist the urge to snooze and just get up. Break up with your habit of snoozing. However, if you are chronically tired or exhausted, that is definitely a sign that you require more sleep. Don't ignore that. Sometimes if you can't afford to do so, you should snooze the alarm or turn it off altogether. If you can't afford to do so and you need to catch up on sleep, you have permission to snooze the alarm or turn it off altogether. It may be the best thing for you at the given time. Just don't make it a habit. However, if you're always getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night and you're still chronically tired, that may be a sign of a deeper issue that sleep won't necessarily solve. You may need to change your diet, eat more fruits, veggies, or even protein, drink more water, or even seek medical attention if necessary. And no, caffeine should not be used as a substitute for lack of sleep. That's an unhealthy and unsustainable strategy. A small or moderate size of caffeine can be used as a morning pick-me-up, but that's it. Everyone's different, but for myself, I rarely, if ever, have caffeine or any stimulants. Only if I'm really beat and can't get sleep or a nap in at the moment and must stay alert. I don't care for the jitters or addiction, and it doesn't agree with my GI unless it's in very small amounts. I prefer instead to utilize other strategies to get my energy up and keep it steady, including the uncaffeinated adaptogenic drink called Mud Water. Not a sponsor or product placement, I swear. If, however, you're chronically unmotivated, that also shouldn't be ignored and may be a sign of one of three things. One, you need to work on your mindset. I recommend starting here first. Listen to positive affirmations in the morning and or evening. Listen to motivational videos in the morning. Listen to gratitude affirmations in the morning. Reflect on what you're grateful for and or keep and write in a gratitude journal every day. Exercise, go for a jog, do yoga, meditate. Find what works for you and helps you and stick to it. Two, it may be time for a deep reflection and a change in your life, or time to realize what no longer serves you and then let that go. Whether that be a change of environment, scenery, relationships, home, job or career or lifestyle, etc. Or number three, you're just depressed. Now, if you're chronically depressed, that's absolutely something you shouldn't ignore, and you should seek professional help. Sleep, relaxation, and self-care are all necessities, and they're all something you should do, but they can only do so much. But like I'm trying to get in, emphasize in this video, sleep, relaxation, and self-care are all necessities. It is possible to overdo it, but it is also absolutely possible to deprive yourself. Sleep, relaxation, and self-care should be treated neither as inconvenient obligations nor as maladaptive crutches. As with all things in life, moderation and the middle path is best. I know this was a bit of a longer one, so thank you for hanging in there. More to come next week. And again, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful rest of your day or rest of your night. Take care. Namaste.